Good day and welcome to Women on the Move Live. I'm your host, Kim McNair. Now, you know this show is for women who are in business, about business, and ready to do business. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you are a pace setter in this community, this show is for you. So what I need you to do is call a friend, tweet a friend, hit them up on Facebook or Instagram, and let them know that Women on the Move Live is on the air. My guest today is an amazing actress. You've seen her on the hit show on OWN, Greenleaf. I want you all to welcome Miss Kim Hawthorne. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, Kim. How are you?
Oh, good. Kim and Kim.
That's right. Kim squared today.
Yes, yes. So Carissa Greenleaf, how is that chemistry? Is it great on set? How do you love being on?
Well,
Greenleaf?
We're going into our third season.
Yes.
We're just now shooting the last episode of the third season. And I have to say that Carissa has become a lot more seasoned herself.
Cool.
You know, the more time I spend with the character, the more authentic she becomes. You know, so I have a better understanding of her. I've built more rapport with my castmates, with the writers, producers, and I have to say that this is probably my favorite season for my character.
Oh, wow. I can't wait. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be ready.
You better.
I am ready. Well, look, at 12, you had the passion for the arts, opera. Oh, my gosh. Where did it come from?
Well, first of all, we had arts in our schools. Okay, I went to a private Catholic school, grammar school, and Sister Maria was the music teacher, and she missed her calling. She should have been on Broadway, but since she wasn't, she would have us doing shows and things like that. So that's when I discovered that I could sing. And when I left that school, she just didn't let me go out into the world without giving me a foundation. She sat my mom down and my dad down and said, there's a School of the Arts in Newark, and I know you know about Newark.
Yes, that's where we're from.
Brick City.
My homegirl.
And that school had piano lessons and voice lessons and things like that. So she made sure that I continued my artistic development. And I started going to that school and kind of got bitten by the classical singing bug, which allowed me to go on to Arts High School in Newark and major in voice. And then from there, I went on to get a scholarship to college to sing classical music.
Wow. Well, you know, arts was, you're right, it was big because my grandmother was big in the arts. I mean, I had to take tap, ballet, you know, all of that. I did piano for a little while. Me and the piano teacher didn't do well, but it was important. That's what we did.
Right.
I tell you, the students are missing so much now, and I just wish that they just would continue. And if it, I know there's a lot going on about the arts in schools and different things like that, but I think it played a major role in my life.
I don't think you would be sitting here if you didn't have it, and I don't think I would be sitting here. And I think there's great value in the arts. Not every student is a brainiac. Not every student is an athlete.
That's right.
And I believe that artists are the ones in our society that press us to grow and press us to think and challenge the status quo, and so we need to nurture that.
And we're very creative, and it's, you know, and it's like, who said we couldn't do that? Oh, what really? And we'll just step right out of the box. I think it's just a natural instinct.
That's right.
Opera. So you were an opera singer. So, I mean, how did the acting piece come in? I mean, I know you're well-rounded, but then when you kind of made that curve into doing Broadway and then getting into film, kind of how did that transition work? For those that may be kind of in that
figuring
space.
out how they can make it all work for them.
Yes.
Well, you know, school was a pain in the butt for me. You know,
Alabama.
Yeah, so I ended up majoring in musical theater, and I got my degree in musical theater. So I was able to use the singing, and then incorporate the acting, and then that's how I ended up on Broadway. A couple of years later, it was a musical called The Life. It was a Cy Coleman musical. And I was able to use my singing, my dancing, and my acting.
Look at that. Look at that.
So
Look at God.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? That's great. I mean, it all worked well. I mean, you've been, and I have something written. I mean, you have over 20 years experience on the big screen and in television. You've been in The Chronicles of Riddick, Along Came a Spider, How to Get Away with Murder, Criminal Minds. That's just to name a few. What do you prefer? Do you prefer Broadway or do you prefer doing the film, being on screen?
Well, they all have their pluses.
Okay.
Broadway is any real actor / performer's dream come true. You know, like the true thespian, that is the pinnacle. Being on Broadway, the Great White Way. That's what we call it, being on Broadway. So that was a dream come true. And there's nothing like developing your chops, stamina, discipline, like doing live theater. Okay, you can't trade that in for anything. That plays into what I do when I go to do TV or film.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. If they call me to set at 2 o'clock in the morning and I've been sitting around all day and I need to deliver my character's performance at 2 a.m., I can do that.
Good girl.
And I base
love it.
that on my theater experience.
See, and a lot of people, and see, there's
That's
some
the
that don't
muscle.
have, see that? And
the theater is the muscle.
That's 20 years experience,
That's
20
right.
years there.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
The focus is the muscle.
See that?
There's a lot of things that happen when you're acting in TV that are distracting. I mean, there's cameras moving, there's a boom hanging over you.
Right.
Sometimes you can hear people talking in the background, you know, so you have to have that focus, and I attribute all of that to my theater training.
That is awesome.
But now, monetarily speaking, you can't beat TV.
All right.
You can't beat a regular gig on TV. So that's allowed me to be able to really raise my game as far as like what I want to provide for my children. You know, I'm a single mom of 2 sons. So this show, the acting on Greenleaf and other television gigs, it provides me with health insurance. It provides me with a decent income where I can provide things for my kids like extracurricular activities, camps in the summer, vacations, things that you want your kids to have.
Oh yes, and that, I mean, but this is good because people need to know because they think, oh well, they're just acting as this, and there's a lot that goes on.
This is
behind.
a business.
That's right, it's a business.
It's a business.
And everybody wants, you know, we're in Atlanta, everybody wants to act. And and I'm not going to say just Atlanta, but it's just that it's booming right now in Atlanta. I mean, LA has been doing, New York has been doing this thing, but Atlanta is really kind of coming up in there, and everyone's flocking here to become the next big thing. But they do need to look at it as a business. Don't, you know, they're selling themselves short just to get in front of something, and they need to be very careful. They got to have a plan.
Yeah, you have to have a plan. Because I was just saying, if you fail to plan, you might as well plan to fail.
Yes.
So you have to have a plan, and it's going to take a lot more, especially for young women, and especially in this climate of Me Too and Time's Up and all of this. You know, I see a lot of pictures and the way people are putting themselves out there, and you have to come with a little bit more than TNA. And I don't know if I can say that on your show, but I just said it.
Okay.
And you're from Newark, so you know we can
right.
go there, okay? All right?
All right.
Yeah, you got to come with a little bit more than that.
Yes.
Because once that's sagging or not working for you, what do you got?
What you got left?
So make sure you have your talent. Make sure you have your business acumen down.
That's right.
Take yourself seriously, present yourself seriously, and you'll be treated seriously.
Look, presentation is everything. Oh my goodness. Look, we're going to take a break. This is good, and we're going to come back and talk about the Regal Wrap. I'll be right back.
How could you be so irresponsible?
I mean, we were using protection. That's the definition of responsible.
I knew that boy was no good.
It was my decision.
And it was stupid.
When are you going to learn that I'm not like you? I'm not you.
I don't want you to be me. I want you to be you, Zora. But I want you to be the best you that you can be. And this is not it. I know you think I'm uptight and uncool and the opposite of lit or whatever it is you kids are saying these days, but I can tell you this. Making your father wait until we were married earned me his respect.
Did it?
Zora, I'm sorry. Sweetie, look at me. Look at me. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of sex to be had, but it's never a measure of a woman's worth. I need you to understand that.
Well, we are back, girl. We're having a good time. And I mean, everything that you're sharing is very good information for the women or anyone who's watching, because they need to know. And with all your experience, your training, I know that they're getting good, I should say, authentic, professional information, because you have a lot of people that can talk a good game, but they don't have anything to back it up. And you have all the credentials in the world to back that up. Do you do any training, any teaching?
It's interesting because someone just hit me up on Instagram. One of the actors I work with on the show, and I do
Okay.
coach.
Oh, good.
I have it listed on some of my social media that I coach, and I can do Skype coaching. And I have in the past, and I'm also mentoring a few people.
Okay, good, good. Because you seem like a person that could definitely do that and do it well.
Oh, thank you, Kim.
And we need it. You know, I know you're here for an amount of time. I know you're here filming, and you kind of travel and move around, but definitely, carve out some time, and because I know they can definitely use your expertise.
Well, I did a workshop last season.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Yeah, the day after we wrapped, crazy me. Was like, yeah, let me just do a workshop. So I actually did a workshop. And the thing that makes my workshop different is it's more about what we talked about today.
Okay.
A lot of workshops you're learning your blocking or going over lines and doing monologues. My workshop is really about getting yourself square, so that when you walk into the room, you're walking in as an authentic person and you're not having to do a double acting
Look at
job.
that.
So it's
I
a lot
love it.
more about like your spiritual development, your self development.
Okay.
And it was very successful.
And people need that.
People need it. It was very emotional, and it was almost like a 4-hour counseling session with the people that came.
Artist development is good. I mean, for everybody, not just, for what you're teaching and talking about, that can go across many lines of entertainment. It doesn't have to just be the actresses. It could be someone that's trying to do the music or whatever.
True.
It's so many. So I can see. So next session's coming. It's going to be to sign up fast, because it's going to sell out quick. It's going to fill up fast. Okay?
Yes, I will be doing one here this summer.
All right.
Actually, in Little 5 Points.
Okay, well, let me know. I want to put that on
Oh, yeah,
womenmovetv.com. I want to
awesome.
blast it out, let people know, because I
Thank
think,
you.
oh no, we need to. So you're entrepreneur, the Regal Wrap. Tell me about the
Yes.
Regal Wrap, because I've been seeing it on social media.
Okay, let me ask you, can you tie your own head wrap?
No, I mean, I don't do it right.
Okay, well, that's how the Regal Wrap came to be. A lot of women have struggles with this Bantu knot. And so I saw a need and I decided to fill it, and I decided to design the Regal Wrap where the Bantu knot is already done for you.
Look at that. And just
So
have to
you just put it on just like a hat and go on about your business.
Look at the girl, that's all right.
You know why? Because
Ooh.
we got stuff to do.
We have
ain't
stuff
got
to
time to
do.
be up in the mirror trying to wrap no wrap.
I don't have, because I was twisting it and zipping it and zooming it. I
And
was
so
trying to
these
get
are
it right.
these are handmade by me. I make them all, and I've been launched for about 6 months. It's going amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm about to
awesome.
outsource, because you know how crazy it can
Yes,
get
it
with
can
you
get,
trying to do everything yourself. So
Wow.
I'm in the process of doing that, and I have this design. I also have it open because summer's coming, and then I
Okay.
have a bow, and they're all ready, tied, and secure.
And
All
ready
you
to
have to do is put it on.
Look at that. So all different styles, patterns, everything,
Yep.
every color.
They can go to theregalwrap.com.
Okay.
And I'm also on all social medias.
Okay, all right. And I'll
same
make
thing.
sure I have that on Women on Move TV. TheRegalWrap.com. So we're going to put that on the site as well, with a picture of you with a wrap on. How about
Thank you.
that?
This is the only tutorial you need right here. Just
That's
slipping
it.
on.
All right.
No more rap tutorials.
Well, this is good. Well, look, I want to thank you for taking time to come over and sit with me. I know you're in the middle of filming. I can't wait for season 3. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see you come into Carissa Greenleaf.
We're bringing it this season.
You're bringing it,
It's
huh?
gonna be
I'm ready,
amazing.
because the bishop got me. Woo, Lord, when it went off last year.
Oh yeah, he doing too much.
I know. We find my baby. Find Zora.
Okay. We might find her. You have to watch
all right,
to
we're gonna
see.
see. We gotta watch to
Yeah.
see. Well, again, thank you so much for taking time to sit with me. Look, guys, I'm gonna take a break. We'll be back. Oh, that was good.
At Just For You, we provide a full range of women's services. We are passionate about providing personalized and attentive care to help our patients walk through the many phases of a woman's life. We provide preconceptual counseling, pregnancy and postpartum care, well woman exams, and menopause treatment, including bioidentical hormone therapy. We are located at 3976 Highway 42 in Locustville, Georgia.
Well, my next guests are two powerful women in the entertainment industry. One is the star of the hit series Wags of Atlanta, and the other, she has created Wags Redefined. I want you to welcome Kiera Douglas and LaShondra Martin. How you doing, ladies?
Good. Thank you for having
I'm glad
us.
to have you here. You guys look stunning.
Thank you. So do you.
Oh, they talk together.
That's
Look
how
at
you
that. Look
claim.
at that. Oh, that is great. Well, I mean, you guys are doing so many amazing things. But we were talking a little bit off camera, and I want you to break down WAGS. So WAGS means, what's the acronym for?
WAG stands for Wives and Girlfriends of Sports Stars, and so that's where you get the term WAGs from. But people use it, differently.
They use it differently. And so this series is something that you've been a part of. Now we were talking about there's a WAGS Atlanta.
There's LA and Miami.
Okay, and we're getting ready for the next season here. We've already done season 1.
Yes.
Oh, it's coming back. They can't do it
We
without
can
you,
claim
Kiera.
it. We can claim
Claim
it.
it. Claim
They
it.
need you. They need you, Kiera. They need you. Now, you're the Southern Belle. You're a mother. You're the wife of, what's your husband's name again?
Harry Douglas, yeah.
Harry Douglas. And you have a beautiful daughter, Harrison. And how old is she?
She just turned 2, actually.
Oh,
yes,
2. Terrible
yes,
twos,
yes.
they say.
It's definitely the terrible 2s.
Really? You think
yeah,
so?
she's a handful.
She
We love her
is.
to death, but yeah, definitely a
Oh,
handful.
my gosh. And
The
LaShondra,
terrific twos.
You are. You're doing some amazing things. Now, your husband is Sherrod Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's retired, a veteran, NFL player.
Yes, yeah,
And you
that's
told me, now I was reading the bio, he travels. He's the NFL's official barber.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
how's he getting around? How's he doing it?
Oh, they fly him out. They fly him out to the different events. He just finished up with the NFL draft.
Oh,
So
okay.
he went and cut some of the players out there, and so now he's back in town in our barbershop that we just opened up.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank
Because
you.
I was wondering, was like he with a certain team, or does he just kind of go around? How like do every Sunday he's at a game, or is it Monday night football, Thursday night football?
I think that's the goal eventually for him to be with different teams, but he also wants to cut for the college bowls and different events like that.
That's
so.
cool. That is
Yes.
cool. Well, I mean, you guys, again, you're doing some great things. Kiera, I mean, you have many businesses.
Yes.
I mean, gosh, I was like, Dad, she's done this. So you're an entrepreneur as well as yourself, LaShondra.
Yes.
How do you guys deal with work-life balance, being a wife of an athlete, you
Yes.
have your mothers, and then your entrepreneurs? How do you balance all that?
I mean, it's definitely difficult, I will say. And everybody, in their mind, I feel like they feel like it's this picture perfect balance, but honestly, it's a juggling act. I mean, some days are good and some days are not so good, but it's all just, keeping your priorities together, time management, and having a good support system, honestly.
Oh, see, that's it.
Yes, and to piggyback off of what Kiera said, I've never really believed in the idea of balance. I think it was Tony Robbins who said work-life integration. So I just try to integrate my family as much as possible into what I'm doing, and then also be involved in my husband's business. But like she said, it is very difficult. So the best thing you can do is juggle and try to integrate your family life into your career as much as possible.
As much as possible. So, LaShondra,
Yes.
with some of the things that what you do as an entrepreneur, for a businesswoman that is out here, that is trying to navigate and try to figure, okay, I'm a mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm trying to figure out, how I'm going to do this. What is some
Yes.
advice you can kind of give to them and still being able to support him? 'Cause you got to
Right.
support him.
Right. I would say at first, go ahead and take the leap, take the risk. I'm a woman of faith, so I do believe that God is with the risk taker. So, I think from the women that I speak to, a lot of them don't actually step out there and pursue some of their passions because they do believe, oh, my time will come. But one of the things, especially in the professional sports world, that I want the ladies to get is that he might go through a hard time when he's on his way out of his career. So,
yes.
you don't want to just be starting yours when he's on
That's
his way
smart.
out, or and he's taken a
Absolutely.
year off. So you want to. It's all about teamwork.
Okay.
So,
Oh goodness, that's good though. So basically, go ahead and take that leap of faith. Start now. Start
Yes.
doing your research, doing a little here on the side, because eventually he's going to retire or phase out or whatever,
Yes.
and you want to hold it down while he's trying to figure out what he's going to do next.
Exactly.
And that's important. We have
Yes.
because I don't think a lot of people think that. Those are some of the things that the wives of professional athletes are thinking about. They're not thinking in that terms, or at least what's being portrayed out there. We're getting the real deal right
Exactly.
here.
That's
Okay,
right.
This is real reality. Hello.
Yes. And I do want to speak to that too, just in terms of the stereotype that, we're not working and all of that. Actually, a lot of the WAGs have to make the decision or the choice whether or not they want to give up a career. A lot of them are lawyers, doctors,
wonderful.
business owners, and all of that. And there comes a point when you decide when you get engaged or married and your husband or your fiance gets picked up by a team, say across country. Okay, am I going to follow him? Are we going to pick up our family, or am I going to stay and hold down my career in the city?
That is a decision, isn't it?
It absolutely
Yes,
is, yeah.
yes. So,
That is a lot.
So I've done several interviews with WAGs, and that's just a common question and a common circumstance that comes up is whether or not to continue my career and pursue my passions or
How did you navigate it? Because you have a lot of businesses. I mean, you do.
I do. I think one thing that my husband was attracted to about me when he met me was the fact that I did have my own thing going. I opened my first business at age 20. So when I met him, I was already very well established. And so it was kind of like, okay, well, we're getting married now, but I'm not just going to sit at home and cook and clean and look cute. I've already established myself. So for me, it wasn't something that I was willing to give up, but I did compromise, Like I said before, I was dancing professionally, so that was more like a hobby to me. I was able to kind of put that on the back burner and focus more so on my dance studio. And so when we did have to move, across state, luckily I had a really good support system to where I could manage to do both. I could go and travel to Nashville to be with him, but I could also take care of my business here in Atlanta. So I think, I think it's just really important that you know who you are, you know your brand, you know what you want to represent outside of your husband, because I think a lot of times we get stuck in the shadows. And, the saying is like, behind every great man is a great woman. But I'm like, no, beside every man is a great woman.
That's right.
So I feel like if you just know, as far as your identity, who you are, what you want to do, what your life goals are outside of your husband, then it's kind of not easy, but it's easier to kind of compromise and come with a plan of how you can do that.
And you do have to get creative in this
You do,
lifestyle
yeah.
as well.
Okay.
If you do decide to go on and travel around the world with him, you have to get creative about how you're going to make money and
do
what your
things you
career
need to do,
Yes,
right,
exactly.
And keep yourself happy. Okay.
Yes.
Well, look, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. You see, we're doing a doggone thing, so we're going to be right back.
Hi, this is Trina Braxton, owner of Bar Chicks, and you're watching Women on the Move live with Kim McNair.
Well, we are back, girls. We're having a good time. I mean, this is, as they said, the camera guy was saying, I'm sorry, my producer was saying, this is locker room lady talk. That's good.
it.
Well, look, LaShonda,
Yes.
tell me about WAGs Redefined.
Sure. WAGs Redefined is a digital media platform, and we are also getting into live events. And we're all about serving the wives and girlfriends of professional athletes and coaches.
So is it a support? So is it a support system? Is it a mentoring piece? How's
All of the above. All of the above. So it started as just a blog. I was interviewing some of my NFL wives to get out their true stories. I was seeing on the media that there was some negative stereotypes being portrayed of athletes and the wives, and so I was just wanting to change the narrative and allow them that platform. And so it has emerged and grown into a magazine, and now now we're hosting events and have our first conference in July. So
oh wow,
really excited
that's
about
right.
it.
So the WAGs Academy conference.
Yes.
So with the academy, is it like for the new wives that are coming? Do they go through like a training process? Okay, look, let me explain to you. This is how it works. Or is it all that in there? Or no? Okay.
It's open for everybody. I think in that it's an all-inclusive, family of wives and fiancés and girlfriends who are involved, with men that are in the sports world. So
Okay.
and LaShonda has just been so amazing with this conference, because I'm like, I wish I had these resources 10 years ago when we first started the league. There's so much, that you want to know and things you
Yes.
need to know, and just resources and support system, like she said
Wow.
before.
And you're
Exactly.
speaking?
I will be speaking. I'm really
Yes, she's
excited
on the
about it.
panel.
I'm actually speaking about a panel about reality TV. So I'll be
Oh,
kind of letting the
okay.
ladies know, because, you know, as WAGs, we get approached a lot,
Yes.
you know, for TV,
To be
and
on
just
TV.
we're just letting them know the real. Like, if you're gonna do it, this is what you need to expect.
Exactly,
Now where
yes.
is the conference going to be?
It's in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So we're going to downtown LA, sunny Los Angeles. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yay. Oh,
Yes.
yes. Now, is this part of your, is it a nonprofit entity? Is it a charity entity? Are you supporting a charity, I guess I should say?
So WAGs Redefined is a for-profit company, but we are looking to do a community service event while
Oh,
we're there. So
cool.
get the WAGs when you come in the first day. We'll reach out and support one of the organizations in the
Okay, so
downtown
to partner
LA
with
community.
who's there locally. Okay, well, that's good.
Yes, because as WAGs, a lot of us were really into community service and
Absolutely.
giving back. That's something that's not portrayed very often, but a lot of the wives and girlfriends are very generous. And so yeah, we want to piggyback off of that.
Well, that's good. So, and I know I'm going around and about, but things are coming to my mind. So, is wives and girlfriends of sports, men in the sports. So it could be NFL. It could be
Yes.
basketball,
Absolutely.
hockey,
Correct. Yes.
tennis. Okay,
Yes.
so it's not
And we
one
have some
group.
baseball and hockey signed up already.
Oh,
so
yeah, look at me. All right, I don't have one, but that's all right. I'm just a me, find me. I'm not a WAG. But this is good. And I'm glad that you guys had time to come and share and just kind of give some dialogue, because people need to know just the backstory, the other side of things. I mean, 10 years in the league. I mean, 10 years, you know, of dealing with the ups and downs, the move arounds. So a wealth of knowledge. I mean, Kiera Douglas, you have a wealth of knowledge over
Yes.
there.
I don't know about a
for-
wealth, but I definitely know a lot more now than I did back then, and that's
Right.
why I think it's important to have this type of, you know, support system in place,
exactly.
such as
so you can be
WAGs
a mentor
Redefined.
and you can
Right.
feed into the next generation.
So
that's
I mean,
really-
I say wealth, but I mean it's there because again, you do have a lot of people that just don't have that. They don't have anybody they can look to and talk to and call. So to have the WAGs Redefined, to have
Yes.
the academy,
Yes.
was giving them a resource to be able to say, girl, let me get your number so I can talk to you. Well, how did you deal with it at this time or when this was going on? So
Exactly.
it's good. It's great what you're doing. I thank you so
you.
much. Keep doing what you're doing. Season 2 is coming. I'm telling you, they can't do it without you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Kiera
you.
Douglas.
Thank you so much for
This
having
is
us.
LaShonda Martin.
Yes, thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
guys for coming. Look, guys, I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living, no home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP Georgia, creating real possibilities.
Well, I want to thank you all for tuning into another week of Women on the Move Live morning show. This has been great. I want to thank all my guests that have been here. And I want to let you know this show is being brought to you by AARP of Georgia. So you know what? I'll see you all next week.